It's me, Bicycle 79. Games, a bunch of PS1 games. I can just walk in and out of your store. Hello gamers, it's me, Bicycle 79. It's my show. Glad to be back, and hello, and welcome to Spilling My Guts, episode 10. I'm your host, Bicycle79. It's my show, or actually my podcast. Glad to be back to do another one. I think this is actually my 11th or my 12th podcast, but for Spilling My Guts, is episode 10. And also, if I'm able to upload everything the way I want to, this should be available for download immediately when this video is available. So if you want to be able to listen to it on the go, you should be able to do that. Actually, I'll put it down in my Dropbox so you guys can be able to listen to it. Actually just wanted to talk about the best and the worst of 2014, in my opinion, gaming wise, personal wise, things that happened on the channel. This year has been spectacular. There's definitely been more good than bad that happened. I know people have a tendency to dwell on all the things that went wrong, and and I think it's just transition in people's lives. So yeah, I was looking back at one of my first podcasts and the way I sounded and all the things that I've learned over this year and stuff like that. It's just funny. Goals that I wanted to accomplish for 2014. If you didn't know or you wasn't subscribed to my channel at that time, I wanted 500 subs, 500 games. I wanted to complete Ni no Kuni. I wanted a new gaming shelf, get 1 platinum trophy, and I pretty much accomplished all those things. The only thing I didn't get was another shelf, which ultimately I didn't end up needing anyway. I did get a new gaming setup. I did hit 500 subs, 500 games. Even after I got rid of some of my games, I think I'm still at 500 games. I got to almost 700 games. I did complete Ni no Kuni, and it took me about 70 something hours. I did get a platinum trophy on The Walking Dead. I just wanted to hear that platinum trophy. I don't know what it was. It was just something weird, something that I wanted to be able to do, that I finally was able to do, and I was really proud of. Now, some interesting things that did happen with the channel over this year, which I'm really, really surprised about. Let's see. I had 2 videos that hit over 1,000 views. I was really surprised about that, but I actually had several other videos that were close to 1,000 as well. Now, one goal that I never hit, that I wasn't even trying to, I got over 100 likes on one video, and that was a pretty big deal. And that video, which was the one that hit over 100 likes, actually is 150 or 160 at this point, is how video games saved my life. And that video garnered a lot of views. It garnered over 1,300 views. At this point, it's at 1,300. After checking today, it's over 1,300, something like that. And that video spiraled into a little bit more than what I expected it to be. Ultimately, it became something personal, and then it also was something that meant I had to be transparent and forthright about a lot of stuff that was going on and happened to my life, in my life. But it was mainly inspired by Alyssa White. I think I did see Erica Zybo's video talking about her sexual assault. And then when I watched How Video Games Saved My Life from Alyssa White, and she just was very open. I think it was a combination, but more so of what Alyssa White did. And to this day and forever, I'll be grateful because it inspired me to do that video. And by doing that video, it actually opened up the doors to other things. I actually ended up having an article written about the video, which garnered more views for the video, because that video took off. It did 500, 600, 700 views in like less than a few days. Because of that video, I ended up doing like 100 subs in a week. It started doing some crazy things. It brought in a whole new slot of different people from different countries, and all these people started opening up about their situation, past experiences, current experiences. Started getting all kinds of emails, comments, just overwhelming. You know, a lot of people opened up and they started talking about their past, and it was just crazy because I started talking to all these different people in different countries. All the stuff came about, but the article that was written by Matt XP, I think his gamer tag or whatever his website is, My XP Gamer or something like that. I've mentioned him on numerous occasions, and I'll probably be mentioning him in another Ask Spiller video because I think he asked another question, so he'll be coming up again. But yeah, man, that was life changing. It was one of the hardest things to do, and I actually did 3 videos. I sat with my wife and I talked with her, and I let her listen to it, and I let my mother-in-law listen to it, and that was it. I didn't really know, and I hardly ever let people in on my editing, my thoughts, or letting other people's thoughts affect the outcome or the output or the changing or the editing of a video. I usually do all of those things myself. So when you see something that I put out, it's got my own personal touch on it or whatever the case may be. So I always know that the stuff I put out is authentic, or, you know, it's straight from me. So anyway, that video spiraled into doing all kinds of different things, and it just opened my eyes, and it just gave me a new perspective on stuff. So it was awesome. Also got to do a video with my wife. That was groundbreaking, and that was big because it started up my channel going in a different direction, kind of what I've been wanting to do. I wanted to get away from just doing one facet of things. I wanted to do a multi-facet of things, and it let me spiral into doing subject type videos, game community videos, video response type videos, getting more into that, exposing other channels, shouting out other channels, but getting more on hypothetical questions and just really involving the gaming community more so than what I was used to seeing. Because I see a lot of people with channels and they just don't get involved. They get, and it's nothing, I don't think it's nothing of their fault. I think what happens somewhere along the lines, you kind of get stuck in the mundane of your own thought process, and you're in your writing process, and you end up coming up with videos and shit, and then you don't realize other people can be included, you know. So that was it's been an interesting year, and another big thing that happened with my channel, not only the How Video Games Saved My Life, but talking about my anxiety and being an introvert, giving people a little bit more insight into who I am. And the interview was very big because that's something I wanted to do, to be interviewed where people could ask their own questions. That's why I started back up to Ask Spiller. And I want to get more and more and more in depth. And I want to kind of spiral into doing a game news type thing. I still want to do all these things with my channel. Ask Spiller, Spiller Mail, video response, shouting out channels, game find videos. I want to move into other things and stuff like that. But yeah, the interview was very big. I was so honored. I have been asked numerous times throughout the year to do an interview, and they never worked out, or it was just schedule conflicts or whatever the case may be. Some shit came up or whatever, and I never took it personal. I just took it for what it's worth. You know, if it came about, then so be it. If it didn't happen, then it wasn't that big of a fucking deal. So I didn't lose no sleep over it, I guess. Now, other things that happened too that were interesting. Let's see. Oh, the live chat. I never thought I was going to be able to do a video chat, and that was all attributed to Corey Buckner and collections.com doing the international show and tell. That exposed me to so many different people, and it was funny just find people that were like-minded, you know, people much like myself. So that was interesting. It was different. I was interested. I did it probably about 5 times. So just to be able to see somebody who I probably will never ever get to physically see face to face, but to be able to see them through chat and allowing other people. And I said, I'm gonna start including those when I do partake in those. I'll start including those on my channel to expose other people with other channels or other websites and stuff like that, because I don't feel like I'm too big to where I can't do that. And I try to make it a part of who I am and what I do with my channel. Some letdowns this year, things that I wish I could have got to do that truthfully I just didn't get to do. Not getting a PS4, it was rough. This year was just financially, it was just a tough year. I mean, the economy, my lifestyle, everything. That's why honestly, I slowed down on all the game find videos, because not only was that becoming a burden, it was becoming a financial burden trying to keep up with all that stuff. And I knew that it got to a point where I was going to have to slow down, but I still wanted to do my channel. The love for the channel has always existed. It was just becoming too difficult. You know, I was like, well, I want to keep the views. I want to keep the subs. You know, I want to be able to do certain things. And it just got to a point where I was like, I can't do this no more. And realistically, I was not happy with some of the things that I was seeing with the current gen, you know, like the whole, because people have been asking me how I feel about it. The whole Assassin's Creed Unity, Watch Dogs, Master Chief, just a lot of these games just in general coming incomplete. I don't know where that's from. You know, I don't understand that. My mind can't even comprehend the thought that, okay, we sat here and spent $65 for a video game for it not to work out or not to be playable. And it was very discouraging to see those things happen. And so in the back of my mind, I actually was glad I didn't get a PS4, even though I wanted one. I just was like, to spend that much money on a system, and then realistically, was I going to play it or not? And that's why I sold off a part of my collection. The major reason was because it just got to a point where I had to get that thirst back for gaming, because I wasn't getting it in current gen. Some of the games I saw that were interesting to me, that were appealing, were like Dragon Age Inquisition and Shadow Martyr, Diablo 3, which I got coming in the mail. And I think I forgot the expansion pack that comes with it, or the DLC. And some of the games that's coming out next year, you know, No Man's Land and some of the other bigger titles that's coming out that do look interesting, like The Witcher 3. I'm currently playing Witcher 2 right now. There's games out there that's interesting, but I was just kind of disappointed with all that. And then all the hacks. I mean, I think even as of today, which is, what is it, December 28th, I think, or something like that. There's another hack on PSN. I was reading something today. I don't know if I didn't even read the article. I just read the headline. I was just glossing through because I'm always reading everything news wise. I think there's another hack going on. So, and we just got over the whole Xbox Live and PSN being down, and I think it's happening again. So that's some bullshit. I don't know. I think there's some big moments in gaming that just got to a point where they felt like it was almost kind of cocky, kind of cocky type shit, where they feel like, oh, we can drop a product that's not finished or not all the way, as long as we can deliver a patch. It's like they're using their patch as their fallback kind of thing. Like, we can go back. We'll let the gamers hit the blogs, hit the sites, hit the boards, and shit, talk about what they don't like or what they need changed, and then we'll go back and fix it. And then all these remastered, oh my God, the remaster of a remastered, that was annoying. I mean, that was like, they didn't do what they did last gen. PS3, I think, and the 360, they came out with at least 20 or 30 titles when those games were initially released. And I get that now releasing games on multiple platforms is the way to go because you're more likely to get your money back, and it's like the exclusives is the thing of the past. So those are some of the things that I didn't like so much with gaming in 2014. And honestly, there was not really a lot of games to pick out. I mean, some hardcore great titles, just like you could just sit up there and say, man, this was a badass game, or man, this was a good game. Now, things I did like, Sony made a tremendous bounce back. Currently, Sony is at 17 million consoles. I was reading this morning on VG charts. I like to read numbers and stats and stuff like that. And I was reading that today that currently the PlayStation 4 has sold 17 million units. And that's very impressive. It's about 7 million ahead of Microsoft. Microsoft is behind by 10. They just sold 10 million. And then, surprisingly enough, Nintendo, I should say, had a very impressive year, I should say. They've actually been on a comeback and they're at the point of 8 million. I think this year they probably sold about 3 or 4 million units, something like that. Reason why I even mention Nintendo is because it's important. And it's so funny talking to other gamers and getting their ideas about how they feel about Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony. And I'm not talking about fanboyism. I'm just talking about the relevancy, how important it is that Nintendo stay in the game, because really Nintendo is about the only one that's really doing 60-70% type exclusives for their console, which in essence is important that they be there, because a lot of our transitions that were made throughout gaming history, the history was due to Nintendo. You have to think about it like that. If you don't, you lose the relevance. You lose the importance behind them being there. We need them there because that's all there is. Microsoft and Sony are kind of doing the fight for this title exclusives, and it's not necessarily a Sony exclusive. It's not necessarily a Microsoft exclusive. They just bought exclusives for the time being, like the whole Tomb Raider thing. They just bought an exclusive for the time being, like Titanfall. It's just an exclusive for the time being, and then eventually Titanfall Part 1 will be it'll be available for the PS4, because how ridiculous would it be to release Titanfall 2, which is what they're going to do for the PS4, part 2 and not release part 1, we all know that's coming. It's the inevitable. But what Nintendo is doing is it's the kid in the back of the room that you underestimate, and Microsoft and Sony are the kids sitting in the front. But meanwhile, the kid in the back is always plotting something. It's just something to think about. You know what I'm saying? So never count Nintendo out. I definitely have my eyes set on a Wii U just because it's exclusive. I don't have to look at it a certain way. I don't have to think about it a certain way. I just know, okay, this is what we're getting. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it and stuff like that. So yeah, there's a lot of things that I've just was glad about this year and just wanted to speak on it. Some other interesting things that happened this year. Happy Console Gamer, which is probably between him on the good side of things and then Angry Video Game Nerd being the extremist, because Happy Console Gamer kind of reminds me of what I want to be. I want to have a fat ass channel, but still keep that humble side. Not that Angry Video Game Nerd doesn't. He's just, that's a personality. But I think Happy Console Gamer, who he is, or John Millennium, and I've been watching him probably 5-6 years, probably even longer than that. He's more of a laid back type, but gradually he's gotten to this point. I think he's at 80,000 subscribers or something like that. And what you see on the channel is what you would probably see in real life. And that's what I want. I want the transparency of that transition of who I am to, like, what you guys see is no personality. It's just me. I just happen to use the name Life Spiller, but really I'm just still that same person who loves and who is passionate about the people I meet along the way. And, you know, he commented on one of my videos, and, you know, and he left a really good comment, and it was cool. And he sat there and watched the whole video, because there was things that he commented on that I know he had to have watched it to completion. So that was cool. And that was just when I really was just starting to get serious about my channel. Game Chasers, Billy, I got to meet them last year, but I got to really talk with him through Facebook, and that was awesome. And then Machine Games Texas, he subscribed, and not only subscribed, but then he recognized me at one of the game conventions, and we talked for a long time. And I just thought that was really cool, because secretly I wanted to be acknowledged, which I did. And that was crazy. And I got to meet all these other YouTubers that I didn't think I was going to meet. I didn't even know they were going to be there. So it was just cool to see all those other guys. But other goals, my new goals for this up and coming year, and it may be changing, I don't know. I wanted, and if you don't notice, I'm all over the place because I just got random notes. I wanted to do at least 2,000 subs this year. And I'm talking about 2015. I want to do one live chat. I'm going to see how that all works out. I'm testing out a few things here and there. So eventually I'll get that. I want to be able to do a gameplay video, capture some actual gameplay of my video, playing video games or whatnot. I want to complete my Mega Man collection for the NES. As far as getting all the loose carts for Mega Man 1 through 6, I'm already up to 4. I got 1 through 4. And I'll probably try to move towards getting complete inbox, get the boxes and the books and stuff like that. But if I can get 1 through 6 and start working on other Mega Mans for like Super Nintendo and then PlayStation, and then other various systems like the GameCube, PS2, PS1, PS3 type stuff, even fourth on and so forth and whatever. Other goals, getting a camera. I want to get a decent camera because I've actually been using my phone different types of other cameras and stuff like that. But I want to be able to actually use a high def camera because I got the proper software. I got a new computer already. So that was actually one of my goals that later on that I wanted to do was get a new computer. Eventually I'll probably get a laptop so I can do more editing on the go and get things done a lot faster. I'd need more RAM. I know that. Get better, and, you know, get better lighting and stuff like that. I do like how things are going. I was able to do some different things with the channel. I finally was able to do picture in picture, adding video and stuff like that, adding music elements in and putting words and phrases and screen capturing, comments and stuff like that. And, I got an overwhelming response from that. So I'm just going to keep going in that. I can't wait to end this partnership. I'll probably elaborate on that in another video, and just go down the line, just talking about what happened with that and my expectations versus what really happened and versus what I wanted to happen, you know, and what ended up happening. And my channel reached 25,000 views, which for the year, or total, I guess you can say. And I was nicknamed this year the Internet's Smoothest Gamer. Games I did love playing this year: Child of Light, Ni no Kuni, Mario Kart 8, Rygar for the PS2, Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons, Wind Waker, Mario Land, Mega Man 3, Spider-Man for the PS1, Wolfenstein for the original Xbox, Castlevania 4. Those are just like some of the major games that I liked playing this year. Some of the RPGs that I dove into with Ni no Kuni, of course. Rogue Galaxy, that was a really awesome game. I didn't finish it. I had to go back and play it. I think it's about 30, 40 hour type game. I finished up Mass Effect. I actually went through that a lot quicker. It was only 20 something hours, so I was surprised how short it was. And that was part 1. Currently working my way through Witcher 2. But yeah, I'm still doing my game collecting. I'm still picking up stuff here and there and adding stuff to my collection. There's just certain things that I'm just really, really interested in. And now I just want to get to the part of saying thank you. And I don't think people, and hopefully people reach this part of the podcast. There are a lot of people that I want to thank that really played a major role in keeping me in this, keeping me inspired, keeping me fired up about the channel. And like all these people that I met secretly and people that I met privately and publicly. The people I met publicly were like Alyssa White. We're like really cool, like Kendrick Spears and shit, or whatever you want to call it. But it's so funny how far she's come and how much she's learned in such a short period of time and lifespan. But I'm glad I met her because as quirky and as different she is, there's a lot of interesting things about her. And I just really, really appreciate who she is as a person. And it fires me up. And Gary, or Gaming Bear, Gaming Ground, whatever, Gare Bear, I hope he comes back. I know he done took a gap. I think he's in school and working on that and work and family. Gundam Russ, Demetrius, I'm glad he started getting up on his videos. My boy Tim, or Jeezy, G2K, whatever you want to be called. Rich, actually, it's so funny because I admired the dude, and it's I think his gamer name or his YouTube name is King of Retro or something like that. Dude has a stupid collection. It's just crazy, like 4,000 games or something like that. And a lot of his shit is mint, but really down to earth dude. I'm trying to remember if he was from the UK. Games Not Loaded, Steven from Scotland. He's really awesome. I really do appreciate all the random times that he'll just hit me up. And people don't know that about 80 to 90% of the time I'm going to respond back. Dave, I'm the Game Geek. Corey, of course, he's made major roles and impact in my life and on my channel and getting my videos out there. I don't know how many, man, I can't even count the shout outs and the retweets and the mentions and allowing me to put my videos on his channel, collections.com, COLEXIONS. It's flourished into something really big, and I see bigger and bigger things happening as the years go by. Sean Gannix, my boy Shady, of course, him and we don't talk as much as we used to, but I know it's just because we're so busy, but he's like one of my big Twitter buddies. Shady Cray, he's crazy. He is definitely funny. Try not to forget anybody. Of course, Sprice and Bites. Really awesome dude. I did not even know who he was in the beginning. I just kept saying, who's this random guy that keeps commenting on my video? Because there ain't nobody else commenting on my damn video. Who's this dude? And just took the time to get to know him, and he interesting and different type of guy. Let's see. And then I have all these people that just comment on my videos like all the time. It's so crazy. There's one dude, I just call him King, and he's really cool. And new guy that I met, H the Gamer, that hooked up because of somebody else's site or hooked up because of somebody else's channel. And, you know, it's crazy. There is tons and tons of people that are always commenting. And I think there's one dude that I started watching this year, and I stumbled on his channel, and I actually did a video response to it just because of an interesting topic. And I think his name is Andrew. I'm trying to remember. I can't remember right now. And he's starting out. And what I really hate is that YouTube is doing this really funky ass type thing where channels are not getting recognition like they used to. Like, you're either hot or you're not, you know, and I know I'm somewhere in the middle. So I'm kind of warm and cold and a little bit of hot. And I say that because smaller channels or people that start out now, either they automatically are hot or it takes them a while. And I know it's a steady climb and all that other hoopla and bullshit, but I hate when I see channels that look like they have some potential, but then they just fizzle out. And there's a lot of people that started out this year that was riding with me, and they're not there anymore. And either they stopped commenting, they secretly view my videos, and I don't know it, or they just fell off. And, you know, to each his word. And if I didn't mention you, it's not because I didn't care. It's just that I forgot to mention your name. But it doesn't take away from the value of your popularity to me, because each person that's ever watched my video, shouted out my video, talked about me or whatever, or even left a comment and responded back, and it means the world. I mean, this channel has definitely been a lifesaver. So yeah, I'm grateful for all of it. And not to get sappy or anything, but man, this year has definitely been the year of transparency for me. I opened up about a lot of things, and it allowed me to move forward. So the big thing that I wanted to leave off with is that If you're passionate about something, just remember you can do it. I mean, if you want to start out a channel, don't be afraid. Let me know about it, man. I'll watch it. But other than that, I'm MikeSpiller79. This is Spilling My Guts, episode 10. I hope you have a happy new year. This probably will be my last video for this year, and I'm out.